People, deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well on this Saturday afternoon. Spurs have lost, so Arsenal fans, hopefully you're doing cool. But I know you've seen, at least this morning, you would have come across Lacazette's been linked to Barcelona. I know it's paper talk and nonsense. You know it's paper talk and nonsense. But if nothing more, we might as well speak about the pros and cons hypothetically. Now, allegedly, for a bit of context, he's seen as an alternative in regards to Barcelona's replacement, not replacement, in regards to them trying to recruit or get a recruitment for Griezmann. Allegedly, he would be an alternative, and they've been linked with Jovic, they've been linked with Lacazette now, allegedly, Griezmann, couple other strikers here and there, even Rashford, obviously Mbappe as well. Whether you believe these can't happen or not, you have to look at the messages. Clearly, the club is looking for a number 9 of sorts, whether that's someone to potentially become a front three or a starting regular with Suarez and Messi, I'm not sure. Whether that's to replace eventually Suarez, I'm not sure, because as good as Suarez has been, I know his future is dividing a lot of opinion due to age, possible statistics during his campaign. I think he's a bad boy footballer, but I have to give you all sides. So in what capacity, we don't know. But Lacazette's been linked with them. Now, the more I sat down and thought about hypothetically pros and cons, the more interesting it got, people. So where would I start? Like I said, it's not going to happen. For Lacazette, if it did come of age, or if it ever did happen, you'd have to say yes, because definitely, I know Deschamps and you clearly doesn't rate you, or he favours Giroud or whatever, but if you're playing for Barcelona, he's going to have to take better notice of you, or there's going to be greater pressure on him to select you, or possibly for your inclusion. So there's that. I know he probably is comfortable in London, and he came Arsenal to possibly obviously play in the Premier League, but one day win an FA Cup, win a Premier League title. Obviously, we're a long way from these things, but win titles here and stuff like that. He's become a fan favourite. Maybe it would be to a degree unfinished business, because if he left tomorrow, he's given us some decent memories, but hasn't been probably what he sought out. But Barcelona is an opportunity that only comes knocking once in your lifetime in any capacity. Yeah, you're playing on a regular basis at Arsenal, and you'd be on a bench at Barcelona, but it's difficult to say no. There's obviously a French contingent. Barcelona are probably going to be in the, I say probably like it's anything but they're going to be in a Champions League final. So a chance to play with Messi, which you can tell your grandkids and they can tell their grandkids, to play with some of your international teammates, to join a team that's competing for major honours and 9 times out of 10 winning something, is something you can't really turn down. If you look back in your career and you say you've come up through Lyon, you've given many years, you've joined Arsenal, like you said, Henry was your idol, you've had some good memories here, excluding trophies, and you play for Barcelona, that's something you can't turn down. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but Lacazette's 27, 28, something's telling me 26 now, but I'm going to assume he's 28. This chance might not come again. The financial benefits commercially that might come with the wage you'd get at Barcelona, with being a Barcelona player, and the endorsements collectively you'll get, and you can make with your agent off your own backfire that. At his age, you've got to consider it. So trophies, more money, is sounding like a good gig, people. Also, allegedly, Abidal knows his agent, so that could kind of broker the move. So that could kind of, you could see for Lacazette, I'm painting a good picture. If it did ever come calling, you'd have to go. For Arsenal, you'd like to think we need to at least make, I don't like this transfer thing, people, but you got to at least take 60 above, man. I'd say 60, or I say 60 because didn't we sign him for 50 something, 60 million, just to purely break even, people. Obviously, we'd have to bump the transfer up a bit, because I'm sure Leon probably have some sort of sell-on clause. There's probably different other incentives and other different finer I's and cross T's that are in contracts that us football fans can't or don't normally see or can't really comprehend, because we're not in that life. So you'd like to think if we can break even, then cool. If we can make I don't know, man, in today's day and age, if they really wanted him, even if I'm Barca and I'm looking for a plan B striker, I'm not trying to play 70 million, but from an Arsenal perspective, he's a key player for us. It wouldn't make sense based on the many holes we kind of need to plug at the club already to sell him. But if we could get 70 million for him, I know as many Arsenal fans say, if we can get wingers, Potentially, you could go forward with Aubameyang, someone that's got 25 goals in all competitions and touching almost 20 in the league. You sign two real quality wingers that can make the difference, similar to what Liverpool have. You're laughing. Obviously, the case will then be said if Aubameyang's not quite at it, who plays. But if Lacazette could raise substantial funds, in theory, you can kind of see it, people. Now, it's harsh because obviously he was our player of the year and he's a terrific player for me. He's not quite top class, or like I'd say. In fact, he's not quite world class or whatever. He's a top individual, top player, but he's not quite got that. He's got 13 goals in the league. Forgive me if I'm wrong this season. Again, I haven't got the stats to hand, but he's got 13 goals in the league. No clue how many he has in all competitions. But he's not a 20 league striker, which for me is bread and butter for any top quality striker. But he offers goals. He scores goals in big games. He's a very intelligent player. Good link-up play, very creative, and he chips in with a lot of assists, and he's a big game player. So that whole being up for big games would actually help him at the Camp Nou and things. Malcolm's not playing, for instance, is completely irrelevant, but Malcolm's not playing at Barcelona, and to everyone, myself included, it looks like a stupid move. You should only be going there when you're in your peak, and even then, many players don't have a chance. But can you say no to Barcelona? This is things that only happen once in a lifetime. I don't believe it's a thing purely because the fee that would probably Arsenal would have to walk away with to make it possible to kind of get our bread back. If I'm Barcelona, I'm not trying to pay it for a plan B. I know it doesn't make sense because they're looking at Griezmann, whether they want to use him as a plan B or a starter. But he's a better player than Lacazette and he's a classy player. So they want him. So they'll be more inclined to pay over the odds. You don't want to pay over the odds for a contingency plan. For Lacazette, it wouldn't make much sense. Beyond in terms of playing, but when you sit down and think about it, it actually would be hypothetically a decent move. I think Lacazette, I saw on Twitter that Lacazette's got 35 goals in 85 appearances for Arsenal. So that's not the best of stats for as good as Lacazette is, and that's a decent return for 2 years, but it's not the best of stats, not the most clinical. I love Lacazette. He got our player of the year and it was well deserved, and I love Lacazette for his technical ability and because he's just a saucy individual. I think some Arsenal fans, it's important to look at our players and give healthy criticism, but I feel some of Arsenal fans can be very disrespectful when speaking about Aubameyang and Lacazette, considering that we've come... I don't want to shame any individuals, previous employers, or people that have been previously employed by Arsenal, but you Arsenal fans know we've come a long way in terms of strikers. They're not perfect, they're not of the serious ilk, and you can make a case for when one's not at it and the other's at it and different strengths and stuff, but we've come a long way. I definitely, within the last... since Van Persie left or whatever, whenever Van Persie left, we've come a long way in terms of strikers, people. And we've had some frustrating ones. We've had some half-hearted ones. We've had strikers, 1 minute they want to be a striker, then they want to be a winger sort of individuals. So I'm prepared to put up with Lacazette and Aubameyang for whatever people might deem their criticisms. But in terms of Lacazette to Barcelona, people, clearly it's nothing more than just paper nonsense. On that note, I'm getting quite hungry on this Saturday afternoon, so I'm going to go make myself a food. Whatever you lot are doing now, hopefully you stay in good health and you're all doing well. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and do the rest of it. And yeah, man, check out the other vids if you want. I'm out.